Hello and welcome back to Koala Moon, children's bedtime stories and meditations designed to make bedtime a dream. This is Hector and Sunny in New York City by Luke Prendergast. Although it's true that Hector and Sunny, two normal-seeming but incredibly special dogs, had been on many fantastical adventures, they had never been on what you might call a conventional holiday. But all that was about to change. One afternoon, while they were lounging about in the garden, relaxing in the spring sunlight and chewing on an old flip-flop, Hector's dad came out of the house to tell them that he had something exciting to tell them. The very next day, they would all be going on holiday. They'd be catching a plane. They were off, he said, to New York, the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps, the most exhilarating metropolis in the whole wide world. So, he concluded, barely able to keep his own excitement from fizzing up and out, they'd better go and get ready. Hector and Sunny might have never been on holiday before, but they certainly knew how to get ready for one. They'd seen their owners pack their bags each year as they went off on holiday, to beach vacations, city breaks, skiing trips, and jungle expeditions. So they went upstairs, pulled out a couple of suitcases, and threw open the wardrobe doors. "Oh, I wonder what the weather will be like," Hector mused, looking through the wardrobe. "Everything depends on that, really." "Well," Sunny told him, "it's spring. So I bet it will be warm in the day but chilly at night. And it might rain, you know. So it's best to pack for all eventualities." And so that's what they did. They packed sunglasses and anoraks, 2 light scarves, and a couple of sun hats. Hector even packed his favourite tartan jacket, which clipped up under his belly. They packed a few bags of treats, in case they got peckish, and a book each too, in case of a rainy day. They packed their toiletries, doggy toothbrushes, nail clippers, a brush to keep their coats nice and sleek. "Oh!" Sunny cried after him as Hector bounded out of the room to fetch something. "And don't forget a couple of chew toys. We'll need some good stuff to chew on in New York City." "Nice thinking," Hector told her with a toothy grin, and he ran off to get the toys. The next morning they woke up when their alarm went off, grabbed their bags between their teeth, and jumped into the car. Hector's dad was very impressed. "Wow," he said, "dogs who can pack their own bags. Imagine that." Everyone was very excited. They were never up this early. The sun was only just rising, and the car headlights shone on the dark roads. But even though it was early, they were all surprised to find that the airport was busy. The huge terminal, with its sliding glass doors and cafes and backlit signs, was teeming with people, all of them walking this way and that, pulling wheelie suitcases behind them, looks of eager anticipation on their faces. "Everyone's looking forward to going on holiday," said Sunny. "Well, you can't blame them," Hector replied. "So am I." The 2 dogs stood beside Hector's dad as they all looked up at the big screen, which listed all the flights that were taking off that morning. Soon they saw their flight to New York City. They followed the signs to the check-in desk listed and waited in the queue for 5 minutes until they reached the front. The man behind the desk was very friendly as he checked Hector's dad's passport and Hector and Sunny's canine passports and weighed their bags. "Is it your first time going to New York?" he asked them. Hector's dad told him it was. "Oh," he said, returning their passports to Hector's dad with a big, bright smile. "What a wonderful time you're going to have, and with your adorable dogs, too." and they watched as their suitcase wobbled down the conveyor belt and disappeared out of sight. Next up, they made their way to security. They waited in another queue, and then a friendly security officer told them to place any metal objects they might have into a little plastic box. "Even the dog's collars?" Hector's dad asked. "Oh, yes, sir," she replied. "That'll have to come off." So Hector's dad slipped off their collars, put them in the box, and then let the dogs trot through the security arches. Then he followed on through. "Thank you," the security woman said, beaming. She handed them back their collars. "Have a fantastic trip." Soon enough, Hector and Sunny were at their gate. They sat by the huge glass windows, looking out at all the planes that trundled down the runways and then took off gracefully into the sky, like big metal birds. Then a particularly large plane rolled up to their gate. "This must be ours," Sunny barked. And she was right. After a few minutes, the air stewards called them up and checked their boarding passes and passports one more time. "1 human seat and 2 canine seats," she said. "Gotcha." And then they were on the plane. They buckled their belts, watched the security information carefully, and Hector's dad slipped on his headphones to watch an in-flight movie. But Hector and Sunny were having too much fun to watch any kind of movie at all. They watched through the window as the plane rose up, broke through the misty bank of clouds and out into the crystal blue sky. "Wow," they both whispered. The clouds spread out like white, fluffy mountains beneath them, and for the rest of the journey, Hector and Sunny settled back into their seats and watched them roll by. New York City was more spectacular than either Hector or Sunny could ever have imagined. The skyscrapers towered up so high in the sky they got dizzy from looking upwards. Yellow taxis flowed in long lines down the roads. People on the streets smiled and waved and hurried about, and steam rose in clouds from big metal grates in the pavement. Or, they should say, in the sidewalk. That's what New Yorkers called it. Hector's dad took them to Central Park. They walked up Broadway. They visited the Empire State Building. And at the end of their first day, feeling tired and satisfied, they went back home, and Hector's dad took a nap. "You know what I'm in the mood for?" Sunny asked Hector. "What?" "Relaxing and having a good chew on a chew toy." "That's a great idea," Hector agreed. But that's when they made a very unfortunate discovery. They'd forgotten to pack the chew toys. They searched all through both their bags, but they couldn't find them. Hector felt very guilty. It had been his job to pack the chew toys after all. But Sunny, with her big, kind heart, told him that he shouldn't feel bad, not even for one moment. "There's no worries," she told him. "Besides, we're in New York City. I bet there's plenty of things out there to chew on." And so Hector and Sunny headed back out into the city to search for something to chew. They looked up the streets, they peered into shops. They looked under cars. They searched in front yards. But they couldn't find anything. Then, just as they were about to give up, Hector spotted something. "Look, Sunny, look," he said. And he pointed at a chew toy, a bright purple rubber bone lying next to a metal grate on the street. "Oh, that's perfect," said Sunny. The two of them bounded over, and Sunny was just about to lower her head to grasp the toy between her teeth and give it a good old chew, when, much to their surprise, the purple bone stood up, shook itself, opened its wide googly eyes and said, "Oh, hello there, you two. How you doing?" Our two canine pals were so surprised to find a talking purple bone that they themselves were momentarily stuck for words. The purple bone blinked at them a few times. Then a realization lit up in his eyes. Were you two actually, were you two gonna chew me? It took a second for Sunny to find her tongue. No, she said. The purple bone blinked again. You were, he said. I saw you. You were leaning down to chew on me. But, Hector stammered, isn't that what you're for? The purple bone blinked at them yet again, looking as though he were very offended. Then, abruptly, he burst out laughing. Oh, yeah, I almost really had the two of you there, didn't I? The purple bone said. Now Hector and Sunny were laughing too, partly out of relief that they hadn't actually caused any offence, but mostly because it was a pretty good practical joke for the purple bone to play. You really did almost have us, they said. Hector and Sunny introduced themselves, and the bone said, What's up? My name's Milky. Because I got so much calcium in me, I'll make your little gnashes shine. Welcome to New York City. So, you guys are looking for something to chew, huh? Yes, Hector and Sunny said, and they told him about their predicament, about leaving all their chew toys at home. Well, said Milky, let me let you in on a little secret. Have the two of you ever heard of a magical little place called Chew York City? Chew York City? Hector and Sunny looked at each other and at Milky in confusion and wonder. No, we haven't, said Hector. What's that? Oh, said Milky. Well, it's the most stupendously wondrous place you could ever, in a million years, imagine. But I don't want to tell you about it. I want to show you. Follow me. And with that, Milky tottered off towards the grate, which he lifted up, revealing a deep, dark tunnel. Follow me, he said again, and he dove right in. It didn't take Hector and Sunny more than a quick, eager glance to know that of course they were going to follow him. They had a thirst for adventure, and they wanted more than anything to find out about this whole new place, Chew York City. So in they dove, one after the other, and tumbled down and down and down until they landed back on the street, with Milky the purple bone standing right beside them, dusting himself off. They were exactly where they'd started, except they weren't. As they looked around, they began to notice differences. They seemed to be on the same street of New York, with the high-rise buildings and the leafy trees and the car parked by the side of the road. But everything seemed sort of different. Wow, whispered Hector, finally understanding what had happened. Look, Sunny, look. Everything is made out of chew toys. Sunny looked around. Hector was right. Everything, and she meant everything, was chewable. The cars were made of rubber. The wheels were giant frisbees. The trees weren't trees at all, but delicious-looking sticks with stuffed toy leaves hanging from the twiggy branches. The walls weren't built out of bricks. They were built out of chewy cuboids and lengths of rope for tug-of-war. Even the buildings were chewable. All bits of chewy, rubbery goodness fitted together into huge, towering puzzles of chewability. Wow. Just looking at it all made Sunny feel a bit dizzy. Now that's the kind of reaction I was hoping for, Milky said. Welcome to New City. What do you guys think? It's like a dreamland, sighed Hector. It sure is, Milky agreed. It's just the kind of place you never thought would exist. But it does. Here it is. And all the dogs of New York City know about it. They just come out of their houses, open up a portal grate, and jump right on down. And they find themselves here in New York City. So, Milky, the purple bone, looked at Hector and Sunny with a big grin. What are you guys waiting for? Go! Chew to your heart's content. Hector and Sunny didn't need telling twice. They were off, bounding through New York City. Everything they passed they had a gnaw of, or gave a lick, or tucked their teeth in for a good old chew. Lampposts and water pumps, restaurant tables and fence posts. They hopped into a bakery and chewed on a baguette, which wasn't a baguette at all, but a stuffed toy. The streets were lined with endlessly delicious shoes, which they weren't usually, in the normal world, allowed to chew on. They met lots of friendly dogs on their way, who greeted them with merry barks or showed them great new things to chew on. A big Great Dane showed them how to jump up on walls to collect the little treats that were littered on top of them. And in Central Park, a tiny chihuahua showed them that if you shook certain trees hard enough, bouncy toys full of peanut butter and berries would be dislodged from the branches and rain down like fruit. As they sauntered down a street, they bumped into Milky, the purple bone again, who asked them how they were doing. Hey, you guys, he added. Have you been to the Statue of Liberty yet? Hector and Sunny shook their heads. The Statue of Liberty? They asked. What's that? Oh, man, I can't believe you guys haven't seen it yet, sighed Milky. The Statue of Liberty is to New York City what the Statue of Liberty is to New York City. It's the most important landmark in the whole place. And you won't be able to guess what Our Lady of Liberty is holding up in her hand. Say, Milky added, can you two swim? Hector and Sunny both nodded. They loved to swim. Good, said Milky. Follow me. And in a few minutes, all three of them were swimming through the cool, fresh water of the New York harbour, doggy paddling over to the Statue of Liberty. She stood on an island in the middle of the water. They reached the bank and clambered out. Then they began to scale the statue. Up and up they went, climbing up her chewy robes, over her head, up her arm, until they reached the top and discovered she was holding the most perfect golden bone they could ever have imagined. It twinkled in the sunlight. It looked irresistibly appetizing. Go on, Milky urged them. Have a taste. And let me tell you, they certainly did. It was the most mouth-wateringly delicious chew bone they'd ever tasted. There the three of them sat, Hector and Sunny and their new friend, Milky the purple bone. They watched the cityscape of New York City darken into a silhouette as the sun dipped behind it. They watched the waves in the harbour lap against the shore. And they watched seagulls, who were actually flying stuffed toys, dip down and take little gulps of water. Soon Hector found himself yawning, and when he let one out, Sunny started yawning too. Then even Milky was yawning. That's how infectious yawns can be. "Oof," said Hector. "That was a very fun but very tiring day. We've been all over New York City, chewing on every little thing we can find. But now I'm tired. I need my bed." Sunny couldn't agree more. And so Milky, the purple bone, led them back to the grate that they had arrived through and lifted it up. "It sure was fun meeting you guys," he said. "You will come back to New York City, won't you?" Hector and Sunny nodded. "Of course we will," they said. And then together they jumped back through the grate and landed back in New York City, where the world was normal once again. They walked slowly through the fading evening, seeing families eating their dinner, kids playing, people sitting on the stoops outside their houses listening to music. Eventually they reached where they were staying. Luckily, they discovered that Hector's dad was still asleep. He must have been exhausted. He hadn't even noticed they'd been gone at all. Yawning, Hector and Sunny just about managed to take off their sun hats and sunglasses and climb into their baskets, where warm and cozy blankets were waiting for them. Sunny gave a big stretch and a yawn. Hector laid his head on his paws. His eyes were feeling sleepy and sticky. What a day it had been. This morning they'd woken up in Leeds at the crack of dawn, gone through the airport, flown on a plane. And now, not only had they arrived in New York City, but they'd found a whole canine paradise beneath it. What fun it had been. Hector was drifting off to sleep, his memories of the day beginning to slip seamlessly into the content of his dreams, when he heard Sunny's voice. "Hey, Hector," she whispered. "Yes," he said. "Can I just say that actually I'm quite glad that you forgot our bag of chew toys," she said. In his half-sleep, Hector frowned. "Why's that?" he asked. "Well," she said, "if you'd remembered them, we never would have found Milky. And if we'd never found Milky, we never would have found New York City either. And that would have been a real shame." "Oh," said Hector. "I never thought of it like that. You're completely right." And now, feeling very glad, even proud, that he'd forgotten the bag of chew toys, Hector fell asleep. And soon after that, Sunny fell asleep too. And all night long, through their peaceful sleeps, they dreamed of New York City and all the fun they had shared there together. We're drifting towards dreams now, the happiest, loveliest dreams you've ever dreamt. We're calm and cozy. Your breathing is relaxed and you can feel that lovely weight of the blanket keeping you safe and warm. Aren't you comfy? You are so warm and cozy, so sleepy. As you drift into dreams, count all the things you're grateful for. Let yourself fill up with all of the little moments that made you smile today. See the faces of the people that made you laugh. Think of the things that challenged you. Think of the things you learned and the practice that meant you'll be a little bit better tomorrow than you were today. Think about how warm and cozy and sleepy you are here in your bed. What a day you had. Wonderful things lie ahead for you too. You will have wonderful adventures tomorrow and the next day and the one after that. The whole world is waiting for you. But there's no rush. There's nothing more to do today. All that's left for today is rest, deep, cozy sleep. The most beautiful of dreams are waiting for you now. That's why you're drifting off, gently, into dreamland. So keep breathing slowly. Let yourself get toasty warm. Let your eyelids stay heavy. And know that you are safe. Remember that you are smart. You are brave. You are kind. And you are loved. Think it to yourself. I am smart. I am brave. I am kind. I am loved. You are a dream. When tomorrow comes, you'll face it with a smile, because you are smart, brave, kind and loved. Because you are you, uniquely, wonderfully you. What kind of dream are you drifting towards tonight? You can dream however you want, because your imagination is as wide as the universe. What will you find in tonight's dream? Maybe you'll see your favourite characters. Is that Hector and Sunny over there? Maybe you'll visit the moon, where there's mice eating cheese in the craters. Maybe you'll walk through Sleepy Forest, where Koko the koala is strumming his pink ukulele on the banks of Sleepy River. Let your imagination take you away. Your dreams are all yours, and you deserve the sweetest dreams of all, because you are brave, you are kind, and you are loved. You are brave, you are kind, and you are loved. And you are wonderfully, uniquely you. You are a dream, and it's time to sleep, tucked up in your bed. Breathe slowly and melt into your bed. Isn't it warm and soft and cozy? It's time to rest. Take deep breaths in and out and let yourself relax as you say goodbye to the day. Let your body get even heavier. Let your whole body go floppy. Drift deeper into sleep with every breath and say goodnight. Remember, tomorrow will be a good day because you have a big heart. You are a good friend. You believe in yourself. You know there's nothing better to be than yourself. It's okay to get things wrong. It's okay to ask for help. You can do whatever you set your mind to. Be proud to be different. Be proud of your achievements. Be proud of yourself. You are a good learner. You are a good listener. You are a good example to others. You are valued. You are loved. You are sleepy. So drift off now, little one. Let the dreams take over. As you sleep, let your dreams take you to magical lands and faraway places. Remember, there's no room for worries in your dreams, just magic. It's a magic place where anything can happen, anything you want. It's a place of positivity and light. Let positivity soak into you and fill you up. Imagine it as a golden light traveling from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Imagine that wherever the light touches you fills with happiness. Imagine that the light makes you feel calm. You're wrapped in a warm, cozy glow within your soft, toasty blanket. Isn't that nice? You are safe, tucked up tight. So sleep soundly all through the night. Sweet dreams.